Everyone knows this is the 10th anniversary of the Nerd this year.
Summer, yeah.
And Screw Attack, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing for sure. To do anything for 10 years is amazing, right? And Screw Attack is, we've been around for 8 years of that, and it's pretty awesome. So, like I said, I won't be able to be here for the end of the panel, but we wanted to present you with a little award. It says.
For a character defined by his anger. We can't think of a nicer, better person. You're the best there is. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sure, yeah. Yep. Yeah, 10 years, pretty crazy. What's next? You got another question,
Just on a side note, I read in an article that there actually were a whole lot of ET cartridges out buried out in the middle of nowhere. Did you happen to hear about that?
You mean the random, or the recent excavation?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's a very interesting story. You want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Well, it's two separate incidents.
Whatever you want to know. Well, we'll just whatever you want to talk about. Because there's so many ways to go. There's so many different aspects of the story and everything. But what I hear a lot of times is like the myth is dead and everything, and that's up to you. It's up to you if the myth is dead, because the myth to me was always there's 2 million unsold ET cartridges out there.
That is the myth.
How many did they find?
From what I heard, when they dug up in Alamogordo, they dug up 728,000, something like that, games, but they weren't just ET. They were like Pac-Man, Defender. Yeah. They were game consoles. That's because they were liquidating a plant in El Paso, Texas. That's what they dug up in Alamogordo.
Atari had a plant in El Paso, Texas, that they were liquidating, and they were taking them out into Alamogordo because that was, they wanted to get them away from looters or whatever.
Yeah.
So they put them out in Alamogordo.
And that was all well documented.
It was actually very well documented. It was in the newspapers. There were pictures of it, of the games being dumped, but they were really shitty black and white pictures that looked like they've been put through a copy machine 100 times. But the pictures did exist. Actually, we comment on that in the movie. But because at the time, that was the only pictures of those games that existed. But yeah, like you said, it wasn't just ET. It was like a bunch of games. And meanwhile,
if you see the pictures that from that recent dig up, it's not just ET games. You can actually see like high res photos on the internet. There's like Defender, there's like game consoles, there's controllers and all that. But that's not what the myth is. The myth is that there's 2 million ET.
2 million, but it was also separate. It was a separate thing that the game failed, and then all these unsold cartridges were unaccounted for. And to be honest, anything could have happened to those 2 million if there really were 2 million. They could have been recycled into other games.
I think what happened is people just got confused.
Yeah. Well, and you were pretty sure that those 2 million ones existed at their plant in Sunnydale, California.
Sunnyvale, yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep saying Sunnyvale, California is where the main Atari headquarters was, right?
Yeah, right down the street from where they programmed the game. There's this big dump. It's it's right there. It's about a 15-minute walk, I think, from Atari headquarters. So it makes sense that that's where they would be.
So it was like two separate stories, but they got fused together. So the dumping from the El Paso plant was always a fact for 30 years.
Yeah, that's a fact. Obviously, they dug the games up. They were there, but they dug a bunch of games up, not the million.
They probably found as many ET games as are in my room, because people send me the game so much. But I mean, that game you could find in any. You know how many people threw that game in the garbage? You could probably find one in that trash can back there. I mean, any landfill you dig up. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it was just such a weird story, because after start hearing about it, it's like, imagine you're making a movie about like the Loch Ness monster, and then all of a sudden they decide to drain Loch Ness, or something like that.
Yeah, and they find a tadpole and they're like, we found it.
Well, I was involved with that, but it just came at a really bad time, and I'm too busy finishing the movie. But the question I get all the time is, does that screw up the movie? Like, no. I mean, the movie's like
Well, if you think about the nerd episodes, you know, you think about like the Superman episode of Superman 64, where the nerd like rips off his like T-shirt and he flies up into the sun and all that. That's like obviously,
Yeah.
you know, fantasy.
I mean, I'm not going to give away anything in the movie, but it's like the movie's like a science fiction. I mean, you could tell from the trailer, it's like very much it's if any of the stuff that happens in the movie happens in real life, then we are fucked. So, and you know. But it's like, yeah, like you could try to work it into real life if you want. That's like that's up to interpretation if you want to make up like an alternate reality timeline and figure it all out. But it's like, you know, you make a movie about World War II or something. It's like, you know, it's like every movie is set in some kind of time. So it's like it represents that time, and so.
You're making me chronologically confused right now.
Well, it is. You can get as chronologically in depth with it as you want, but. Yeah. So the short answer is it's like it's a movie. Like wait till you see it. So yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mike. You kick ass too.
Cool. Thanks. We appreciate it.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you so much for coming out. I've been a big fan. I've been watching you since you were the angry Nintendo nerd.
Yeah.
But I'd actually like to. Can I do something a little different? Can I ask the audience a question?
All right.
How many of y'all have thought about or wanted to or have created a YouTube channel? That's all you, man.
Oh.
That's all you. You've been a huge inspiration to all of us. I just wanted to thank you and congratulate you on all your success and just keep rocking on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. First of all, congratulations on your 10th anniversary.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So my question is, right before you officially announced that you were going to start work on the Angry Video Game Nerd movie, like back when you did the Spielberg games, you were doing one episode a month. And so now that we've reached the point where you have a release, you have releases set up, you have plans to make the DVD, and you know it's all eventually going to come to an end. Are you going to go back to once a month, or do you have any? What are your post plans?
Post plans of the movie, like making more episodes. You think specifically with the future of the nerd, right?
Any future projects, anything?
A future project.
Well, we have a
It's
lot
like-
of web series that we want to get back to.
There's a lot of web series. I mean, Board James. I've had a lot of. Oh, thank you. Oh, cool. Oh, thanks. We got some Board James fans. I don't think I'll ever top that Dream Phone episode, but but I definitely want to get back to it. We talked.
Oh wait, aren't I supposed to be dead? I should get out of here.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of ideas for more Board Games. I was actually going to start on them this year. Earlier, I was going to start on them in like the spring, and then the movie just kept expanding, taking more time and more time. And eventually, it was like, okay, there's no time to do anything else but finish this movie. So the Board Games has to be postponed, which disappointed me a lot. But I'm still going to get to them eventually.
We also have a lot of plans for a lot more like top 10 videos, and
I would bring back the bullshit
The
too,
bullshit.
you know. And the nerd, like as of now, I have no plans to stop the nerd. I think it'll never be like the way it was, like in the beginning. In like 2006 when it was like two episodes a month for like a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I think like if I'm gonna make an episode, I want to make them good, and to make them good, I need more inspiration. It's tough when you stop one episode and then you start on the next one immediately, because then it's like you don't have fresh ideas. Like it's just you need time to mentally reset, and then
it's also hard to juggle so many different web series at the same
Yeah.
time, and you know. So
But it's like a lot of times we just got to sit down, play games, and like you know come up with ideas. Sometimes we're playing the videos when we do the Monday videos, and we played some. Yeah, thank you. And we played some of those. And then we're like, oh damn, this game sucks so bad. This could have been a nerd episode. Like, why are we just like? Because we
like that Universal Studios.
that
one,
Universal Studios game. Like, oh my god, like that should have been a nerd episode. But maybe it could always be if there's something we haven't said.
No, we
about
have
it.
plenty of ideas. So
Yeah. So either way, I mean, like, we're always gonna be doing video game stuff. Either way, so yeah.
Thank you for answering my question.
Sure, it's a long answer, but yeah, yeah.
Hi,
Hi, how you doing?
fine. First off, sorry about what happened last year.
What happened last year?
I just jumped off into the front line, asked a good question about Pacific Rim.
Oh, well,
I apologize. Second,
That's all right.
Congratulations for your 10th anniversary.
Oh, thank you.
And third, since this is also the, since the latest Godzilla movie came out, I know you saw that, I saw your review on that. And then there is and I know there's a 10-year gap between the two, Fighter Wars and the latest one. So in the past 10 years, what is your favorite monster movie in the
Okay.
past 10 years?
What's my favorite monster movie in the past 10 years during the gap when there was no Godzilla films?
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you want to go first?
Birdemic.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No. Oh, the question was, what was the worst? Oh no.
You know, Whitney Moore, the girl from Birdemic, she's really cool. She helped us a lot in the Nerd movie. She has a small part in it, and she also helped us with casting a lot. She would read a lot for the other characters and stuff. Really cool to work with. But favorite monster movie in that 10 years? I'm trying to think. Shout some out. I'm trying to remember. Sharknado.
Yeah, Sharknado.
When did The Host come out? That was 2000. That was a pretty good one. The Host.
That was it within the last 10 years.
Super 8 was pretty cool actually. I like Super 8.
We were playing some card game or something, and he had way too much to drink. And by the end of the night, I could see that he was feeling sick, and he was about to throw up.
I had a lethal amount. It was actually really serious.
So,
and then that was a lesson in life. Like, don't do that.
yeah, so I could see he was about to go, and I grabbed a metal Pac-Man trash can for him to throw up in. And
Which I don't remember, but
you don't remember anything.
Go for it. What
So
else happened when I was?
So I go to put it under him so he can go into the metal Pac-Man trash can, but he didn't make it, and he threw up like all over my arms.
Oh,
Just like nothing brings two people together like hot vomit, you know. So
and actually, to continue the story, the Ozzy Osbourne picture, I left it in your apartment.
Yeah.
And I got like carried to my apartment or something. So I woke up the next day and was like, all right. I was like really embarrassed. I was like,
he knocks on the door. He's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. I threw up at your place last night, but I forgot this and that. Can I get my stuff back?" So he comes in, and he comes into my bedroom, and he sees that I got like all these G1 like Transformer things. Like I got like Devastator and like all stuff from my childhood. And then we got in this long conversation about G1 Transformers.
He had, like video games I'd never seen in person. He had the 3DO. He had the Atari Jaguar, and all these games, and then
The Atari porn games.
Yeah, and I'm like, well. And like, so I grabbed the Ozzy picture, but I was about to leave the room, and I was like, damn, you got Atari Jaguar and 3DO. I never knew anybody to have those. And he's like, yeah, you want to play some NES or something? I'm like, no, I want to play some fucking Jaguar. And then
Yeah. So basically, we spent a few years in college just playing NES games, and
then I was making a film. It came from Beyond the Toilet, which is a movie about a shit monster that eats people. And I needed somebody to get shit on by this monster, and nobody wanted to do it. It was the same thing. It was the concoction of chunky peanut butter and chocolate syrup. And
the same thing used in like the Bugs Bunny episode.
Yeah, that began a tradition of you getting shit on. Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed that nice story about shit and vomit.
Yeah, shit and vomit. So if you agree to get shit on, then I know, all right, then I'll keep asking them to do things.
That's why he kept me around.
And my second question is, if you had to stop making videos entirely, what would you do with your life? Just stop making movies, videos, everything.
I think James is incapable of stopping that.
Yeah,
He's like a video making machine over here.
That's true, yeah. What would I do if I were to stop?
Yeah.
don't know, play with dog turds or something. I don't know. See, that's the problem. It's like if I don't, like, it's always I'm going to have to be doing. You know, I'm always making some kind of art. You know, that's what I always did as a kid. Whenever I get bored, I'd do art, any kind there is.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Hey.
Hey guys, I've been on a handful of sets of movies and short films, and I've learned that a lot of wrong things can happen. So I was wondering, like, throughout the production of your film, like, has anything went horribly wrong that you learned from, or just general experience that you can give to a stupid guy who wants to pursue a semi-smart future within film?
Okay. Any stories while making the Davy Jen film that went wrong? Like something that went wrong while working on it?
And no spoilers.
Plenty, yes. The short answer is yes, all the time. Especially during shooting. Shooting was extremely tough, especially that first month, the month and a half in Los Angeles. Well, there were 4 months actually, 4.5. It was from January till middle of May. We were in Los Angeles, but anyway, like, it was mostly pre-production out there. We started shooting in April 1st, and I remember that whole month was just so intense. It was just every day on set. You realize no matter how well you planned it, like, one thing would go wrong and it would just set off everything. It would just be like, you're fucked. And it's like, we're not gonna get our shots. And a lot of times I was like, how the hell am I gonna finish this movie? Like, I need to finish this, but like we didn't get our shots. And it's like, the movie's not gonna make sense. Like, the story, nothing's gonna work because we didn't get all the shots we need that day. We're in a lot of really time-sensitive locations. We gotta, you know, finish what we do because we get kicked out or whatever, and, you know, whatever's going wrong. And somehow we managed, and we made it through. And now I look at it, I'm like, holy shit, how did we do all that? So yeah, your dreams can become nightmares, but they do become dreams again in the end. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey James, hey Mike. I got a question about the Nintendo World Championship cartridges that you destroyed. What did you use for the Nintendo World Championship cartridges?
What did I use for them? Well, we made a gray one and a gold. The gold one was probably a Zelda because that's a lot more common than Nintendo World Championship.
What was the gray one?
The gray one was Top Gun because that's a really that's a really common game. Yeah, you know what's funny is that the fake ones looked better than the real ones because the real ones are like 25 years old or whatever. So.
You actually look at the real one, it's like
that.
stuck on there with like Elmer's glue or something.
Yeah, no, it really is. Like they used like glue to like stick the label. So when Pat and I made them, in fact, actually, Pat made the fake gold one. I made the fake gray one. And we put them together in the room. We looked at them, and before we did the smashing, we were like, okay, let's double check and make sure we're smashing the right one. Yeah. Actually, the hardest thing was the dip switch. You know that like little switching
Yeah, I
stuff?
saw that.
That was just a piece of paper, but still, like even after you printed it out and stuck it on there, you looked at the thing and you're like, oh shit, like this looks just like it looked just like the other one. So.
Also, can you sign my...
What the other was? I don't remember.
Wasn't it Custer's Revenge? Where you screw a naked Indian chick up against a cactus?
I don't think you would have shown me that first. Actually, I'm pretty sure you showed me that later. Because you had it on your PC, actually. It was later. Yeah, that'd be a great game. Here you go.
It was probably like Contra or something.
Probably.
Like Life Force or...
Okay. But didn't we... No. No way. None of them. None of them.
Just kill yourself.
You know what? Let's think. Which a bad game that's tolerable. I can't even think. All right, a bad game that's tolerable.
It has to be one that you've reviewed?
One I've reviewed, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Did I review it? Okay. No, those are worse. The ones everybody's saying are the worst ones. Simon's Quest, because... Yeah. Oh, the music's great. Like
Which
a
one has
disagreement?
most trouble getting along with each
Oh.
other working on a video?
Like a disagreement or something.
Yes.
I can't think of any. Got anything?
I don't actually. We pretty much agree on most everything, honestly. Honest
No
answer.
way,
Yeah,
really?
we haven't really had an argument.
There's probably, I mean, maybe him just convincing me to like play something where I didn't want to play. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Like,
What about getting shit on?
yeah, you ever like not?
You're just about to ask me if I ever don't feel like getting shit on. No, I always feel like getting
always
shit
feel
on.
like it, yeah.
Shit on me right now, please.
You know, it's hard.
Round of applause for that.
You know, it's really hard. Actually, your death scene in Dream Phone, that was actually hard. Do you remember that?
That was difficult to shoot.
Yeah, because it was like,
Great, I'm up here looking you in the face. Oh God. Now I know how those kids at the PBG panel feel like, oh shit. I got a simple one for both of you. Could you describe your last shit with a shitty game?
Last shit with a shitty game?
Yes.
Last shit with a shitty game? Is that what you
Yes!
What was your last shit with a shitty game?
I don't know if I understand, actually. Just describe your last shit by using the shitty game.
Last time, wait. wait, last time I shit while,
No,
yeah,
like what shitty game
Well, like
best
what-
fits it?
well, what's in the, you don't mean like shitting in the videos, right? Because that's, okay, he's asked me to describe my last shit while what?
By using a shitty game as a reference.
While using a shitty game as a reference? Does that mean I'm...
Yeah, like my turn was like Top Gun or something.
Okay. You mean make a chart that matches or something? Yeah? All right. Do you want me to compare like the consistency of a shit with a game? With a game that would be appropriate to match
Yes.
that. All right, let me think that through. That's new, okay? I'm gonna say it's like, what's a bad game? What's one I
Dr.
reviewed?
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Well, I don't want to go there again. See, that's what came to my mind too. All right, so
Shaq Fu. Some kids.
All right, so Shaq Fu. What?
Yeah, we know.
There is, yes, Shaq Fu 2. It won't foo it up this time. Shaq Fu, all right, is like a shotgun shit, which is when like the gas is behind the shit, so it's actually almost like you fart the shit out, and it just that's Shaq Fu. There.
It works.
Thank you for the question.
That was beautiful, man.
Okay, cool.
How am I supposed to top that?
I don't know.
It's not fair. Yeah, describe your last part with the shitty game.
Describe do the same thing with a fart in the shit game?
Yeah.
I don't know. What is a game? Okay, here's one. What is a game that you think is good, but then it becomes? All right, how about this? Simon's Quest. Like if you first play it, it's so awesome. It's like Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, and then you start realizing it gets shitty and shitty and it's not really that shitty, but it's just that there's all these cryptic things in the game. They don't explain what to do. So I think the shit factor rises. So if you're going to compare that to a fart, I'm going to say like a fart that was underwater, and then you don't know, and then it comes up, and it's like, oh! I don't know. What question? What does Q&A turn into just now?
Okay, I have a real question. What is the first game you're gonna let your child play?
The first game I'll let my child play, it will probably be something simple enough. I mean, I started with Atari. I feel like I mean, I had the right.
Odyssey 2.
I started with Odyssey 2. That he corrected me. He knows my life better than I know my life. Yes, I started with Odyssey 2. So I started with really simple games. Actually, I played a lot of old computer games back then.
Like Bill Gates' Donkey.
I did play Bill Gates' Donkey, which all that entire game, it's just a donkey on 2 lanes of traffic, and you're driving a car, and you have to dodge the donkey by switching the lanes. And they had, I remember on the floppy disk, I remember there was a command you could put in where you get the coding of the game. It was in GW Basic, and then I started playing with the coding and making the donkeys like heads go missing and stuff like that. And I remember that was like the first time I was like hacking a game when I was like 6 years old or something. The first thing I would let her play is something simple, I would think, because that's how I started. It was simple, and then you work your way up, and that way you experience the whole evolution of gaming. That's the way it was with movies too. Well, I mean, not all the time. Mostly horror films, I did very chronological, because like a lot of times the rated R horror movies I wasn't supposed to be seeing, so I would start off watching all the classic black and white horror movies, and then I'd slowly kind of work my way up. So when you do that, you experience the whole history, the chronology of the evolution of it, and you see how things progress. I think you could learn a lot doing that way. But of course, you always got to go back and forth a lot. You can't do it. You can't do your whole life chronological.
Awesome.
Yeah, another long answer for you, but there you go. Yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Nick. I just want to, I respect you guys as both artists and filmmakers. I love the fact that you show like your process in making the film and how you like make, you come up with ideas to make like certain scenes work. I always think that's really cool. Anyways, thanks for showing that. Anyways, I'll get to my question. My question is, how did you guys come up with Super Mega Death Christ? Because I think that's like the funniest thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz 3 is where that originated.
Yeah, a lot of characters originated in that. It was a spoof of Wizard of Oz 3, Dorothy Goes to Hell, and that was that was in 2006 when we finished it, but we were talking about that movie since like 2002. Something like it took a while. Like we would just come up with ideas.
Well, I think it was because we needed like the original had the Wicked Witch, and then the one in the 80s, the Return to Oz had the Gnome King. So we were like, what would be so crazy that we could do that would just be the most insane thing ever? And we just came up with Super Mega Death Christ 2000 BC version 3.0 beta, bitch.
Fuckers! So basically there was no thought to it.
Well, thanks for all your content, and don't stop making what you're doing, guys.
Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, we only have like a couple left, probably, because we're going to do the sign. We have like 5 minutes left or something like that, I think. So,
cool.
so
just made it.
Hey, what you got? Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you again. I saw you at E3 2010. Ran to you briefly, but huge fan. Love your work. Go back to what one of the previous questions was about you guys' chemistry. One of the things I love most that you guys do is your movie commentaries. And I know with licensing you can't like post the movie on your site or whatever, but
unless it's public domain.
Yeah, maybe like a riff tracks kind of thing. Do you have any plans to do any more of those? And my second thing is, do you have any more plans to do any more location tours? For movies
location
and TV
tours
shows?
and public domain commentaries. Yeah, I'd love to do more public domain commentaries. I mean, we did one of Dracula, which was like you said, rip track style, where we did the audio, where we did
we did like House of the Dead too, and
maybe, but I think we steer more towards public domain because that's easier, because then you can post the video. People don't have to sync it up with the audio and video, and then location tours, maybe like one. I don't know when I'll ever be able to do it, but I've always wanted to do one called Horror Houses, but it'll be all around the country. It'll be like every single place, like. We're in Texas. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was filmed.
Awesome.
The place where that was filmed is now, like, they moved the house, and it's now family dining.
Wow.
And Michael Myers, the Michael Myers house, is now a chiropractor's office.
You know, there'd be a lot of good tours to go around here for Texas Chainsaw 2 because it was filmed
Oh,
in
okay,
Dallas.
yeah.
So like just stuff like that. But I really enjoyed those.
Oh, cool. All right.
Thanks
Yeah.
a lot.
Okay. So
Thank you.
Should we do one last?
What time is it?
We have like 2 minutes.
Yeah. So probably got, yeah, well, I think you're the last one. Yeah, so everybody else, we'll get you in the autographs if you want to go to the signing, because it looks like we probably got to head to the signing now. At the end of the hall with the autograph table. So yeah, what you got?
How'd you react to the last issue of Nintendo Power?
Oh, how did I react to the last issue of Nintendo Power? You know what? To tell you the truth, I really I was so clueless because I kept hearing they were canceling it years and years ago. So I actually thought it was already canceled, and then I heard, oh, the last issue's coming out. I'm like, oh, really? So it actually kind of caught me by surprise, to tell you the truth. Yeah. All right, cool. Whoa. Thanks, everybody.
Sorry,
Yep.
this man, very nice man, he has some, he has some back pain, so he won't be able to stand in the line.
Okay.
So if you want to ask, he also would like you to sign this piece.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If you want to say something.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much.
And then,
for doing
Rep, this,
that.
I'm just going to have to go to the signing, and then everybody line up there, and then we're going to sign everybody. Yeah, so I hope we can get through as many, we want to get through as many people as possible. So thanks, everybody. That's the panel. SGC.